Okay, so because I just ended kind of quick there, I decided to do one more, but I wanted to talk a little bit more about that the other way to assess the condition of a newborn is the neonatal behavioral assessment, the NBAS, the scale, and it looks at the baby's motor development, muscle tone, stress response. It's more used around the world. Like I said, APGAR is very um, uh, United States. But it's also something that, okay, they have a low APGAR, but do they also score low here? And it helps us make comparisons. And we will do it to compare, because other cultures are using it. It'll be easier or to compare our rates of infants falling low on the APGAR or on the scale to that of other developed and developing countries. Um, so every baby is kind of, you might not even know this has been done, but they all receive that score of when they are born, and each area is a 0 to 2. So you'll see in like the appearance, if they're blue all over, they're a 0, not good, right? If there's no blue coloration, they're a 2. If they fall somewhere in between, they're a 1. And so they're doing each of these specific things to make sure that that's, we're going to hear them cry, right? Do they have the strong cry, kind of a weak, irregular cry, or no respiration, which means they're not crying, and that's not good, right? So they're getting a 0 if they're not crying, and there's probably more concerns than the APGAR score at that point. Um, the next thing I kind of included out of I think it's a curiosity that not many people know, but it is the term langu. Langu? I'm not sure that's the right phrase of it, um, but this is that some babies are born with this like fine downy body hair all over them, and downy meaning like super soft, like really fine, and they kind of look like they just kind of got hair all over them. And it kind of will freak some newborn parents out sometimes, but it's going to disappear over a few weeks. It's going to fall out and be gone, and it's kind of like just kind of a downy, hairy coat. But it's not a concern. Some babies don't have it at all, okay? And some will have it nice and thick and very obvious, but it's nothing um, to worry about. It does look, it shows darker for darker hair. It's going to be more noticeable for lighter colored hair. You're probably not even going to see it, or it may be so thin and light that parents are really not even aware of it. But I've known a few people who have been a little bit disconcerted or concerned about it, and they don't have a hairy baby. It's gonna go away. It's the same. Like my daughter was born with almost. I swear she didn't have enough hair to put in a little like the cute little pigtails you put on taller. She didn't have enough hair to do that until she was like 2.5. She was born with almost no hair. She was bald for that. I would put like ribbons on her head just because people thought she was a boy because she had so little hair. Um, and it was just that way. She didn't. Then there's other babies who are born with full flush, like full heads of hair, like model hair. Um, it just depends on genetics. And then the last question there is, what are 2 reflexes that babies are all born with? Um, and they all have some of it. So our reflexes, and we're going to talk about reflexes in the next chapter regarding infants and toddlers as well. But newborns are equipped with some reflexes, right? Involuntary movements, response to stimulus that are just automatic. One of them is going to be the sucking reflex, obviously for eating purposes. And something that goes along with that is the rooting reflex. So they are going to be able to find their mama's breast in order to eat. And so they're going to root for it. The kind of like, I think I always kind of like if you have the pictures like of pigs looking for truffles, right? They're going like down in the ground and doing that. The babies will actually put their face down and like nuzzle to find the nipple, and that's going to be a natural reflex there. And sucking, of course, in order to eat and get the milk out. They are also going to grasp right off the bat. They can hold really strong. It's a very firm grasp, but if you put your finger in there, they're going to grasp. Um, they're going to become more voluntary, but in the beginning, that is not the case. Stepping to the even newborns, they're going to step their feet down or they're going to hold their feet up, and those are just going to be natural. Other ones are blinking the eyes, swallowing, sneezing. They'll have a gag reflex and a withdrawal from pain reflex as well, and those will stay with us as we go on. Um, so when you talk about the grasping of an infant, grasping will become, as an infant, it's involuntary. You put your finger there, they're going to wrap their fingers around you. As a as they develop, that's going to become a purposeful. They can choose to wrap or not wrap. It's not going to be involuntary. It's going to be a choice. And so it's not that we lose the stepping or the grasping reflexes that are there when we're infants or when we're newborns. It's just that they're going to be replaced with that developmental skill. And your brain is going to now make decisions in regards to that. But in the initial birth, it needed to be an immediate reflex, probably because at some point in time we had to hold on to something out in the wild and things like that. And so that reflex of holding on needed to be there at birth. So those are our newborn reflexes. So we're wrapping up this unit with that video, and we will be moving forward next week into our 3-week unit. And so you'll have 3 weeks for completion of everything from start to finish. I'm also trying to get through and get you guys feedback on things you've already submitted, so you corrections and resubmissions can be made. The 3-week unit that we're going to start with is going to look at the physical, cognitive, social, and emotional development of infants and toddlers. So we're going to look at infancy and toddlerhood and what development is kind of occurring and going on at that point. It is probably the most exciting and largest unit of things going on, so look forward to a lot of concepts. Because that is those 2 years are our biggest growth physically. I mean, we go from small, our heads being 50% of our bodies, to fully walking and for some beginning talking individuals. We go cognitively from having only involuntary reflexes to being able to do purposeful movement and make decisions, and learning is going on constantly. And social and emotional, we're really going from just kind of natural impulse interactions to engaging with our environment and with others around us. And as Erickson said, it's such a critical stage of building trust, and it sets a foundation for our social emotional development. So lots of fun things coming up in Unit 3. Have a great snow day, and I will see you all next Thursday. Bye.